G'day guys, my name's Josh. You can call me Woodle, and welcome back to 7 Days to Die in Alpha 18, where I am back in my Woodle Park 2 to build another base. And I'm actually coming in today with a pretty special idea. It's something that I was thinking about last night, and I was like, you know what, I think this might work. If we take all the ideas that we've tested in all the other bases, I feel like we can put together a base that should be the easiest AFK base you can build. You can build it on day one, and it should stand up against anything the game wants to throw at you, because it's turning the zombies' strengths against themselves, which is always a good way to fight a zombie apocalypse. The less work you have to do, the more you can enjoy whatever horde night you happen to be on. But before I head out into the park to build the base I've got in my head and see if it does work as I hope it does, as always, I need to head through the Hall of Legends and the MVP Tower to thank another group of superstars for making all of this possible. So today, we are actually welcoming someone up into the MVP Tower who was down in the hall. Their sign has been moved. So welcome Unkspell into your new home on the purple MVP Board of Honors up in the glorious tower up here. Thank you very much for getting yourself up there. But today is actually different because for the first time ever, we're not heading left into the original hall with all the names skirting the walls. We're heading right into the construction site, which hasn't actually been finished yet. It's about Christmas time, and I've been super busy, so I haven't had a chance to finish building the whole new wing onto the tower. But nevertheless, we've still added some names into the soon-to-be wing. So thank you, Blue Grill, Acelity, and Tranquil Chewy for all your wonderful support. I promise I'll finish building your home soon. I really will. It's just going to take a long time to do, and I haven't had a chance to do it. So for the moment, you have some nice fresh air, a nice breeze coming in off the desert land. Alright, with those guys thanked, let's head out into the park, find somewhere to build. We don't need much space, just a little bit of space will do, but I still want to build it away from everything else just because, well, this might get a bit hairy. So the idea I have to make the easiest AFK base ever is basically to use the zombies' new digging powers back against them. The digging powers is something that's a bit controversial in the world of 7 Days. Like, a lot of people don't like it, but it kind of makes sense because underground bases were way too OP back in Alpha 16 and before that as well. You went one block underground, suddenly the zombies couldn't touch you. So they needed to have some way to get down. Sure, automatic sledgehammer hands are probably a bit overkill, but if they're going to be that efficient at digging, that's going to give them a weakness if we can just make them dig where we want them to dig. So what we're going to be doing, just a nice little base, but we are going to be using some wedge tips. Now, if you don't know how to get wedge tips, I'll quickly explain it. You can either use the table saw, or you can find yourself one of these pellets here in a whole bunch of POIs. They're basically everywhere, these things, because if you dig up one of these, you get yourself some cobblestone, which is super easy, because from cobblestone, you can make yourself a flagstone block. Let's just get one of those on the go, and you can use that flagstone block to make yourself some wedge tips. There it is right there. Super simple. You can get it on day one in about 2 seconds flat. Super nice and easy to make that particular block, because you can't make that out of wood in your head. If you want to make some wood frames, I'll go here, wood frames, make one of those. It will not show up in the the envelope? No, well, with all the different options. I completely forgot what the word was there for a second. It won't show up in the options here. You can't make wedge tips just like that, but what you can do is use the table saw, and then you can make a wood wedge tip right there. So you find a table saw first, you can make it out of wood. If you find a blue pallet, you can make it out of cobble. I prefer cobble because it's a little bit easier to make and a little bit easier to find, but that's what we're going to be using. But basically what we're going to do, very similar to the mine base that I built back in Alpha 17 way back when. We're going to build ourselves a little kind of hut just over here for us to live in. Let's just build this out of wood, because why not? We're building everything as if it was day one. Super simple. May as well build it out of wood just to prove the concept. Let's get a whole bunch of you. There we go. And we're just going to make ourselves just a little room to live in. Just starting to keep the vultures away and the cops away, because cops will only spit at you if they see you, and spiders will only jump at you if they see you and have somewhere to land next to you as well. So if you build some of the blocks their line of sight, cops will just act like a regular zombie and pose very little threat to you. I'm sorry for that a little bit long-winded explanation of how to get wood wedge tips, or any wedge tips at all really, but I felt like I had to do it because I see a lot of comments of people asking, how do I get this block? Like, you can't get it, it's not in the game anymore, they got rid of it. They haven't, you just got to know how to go about getting it now, either using it out of flagstone or finding yourself a table saw. So that is how you do it. That is the explanation done. I can finish building this over here as well. I'm just building this out of wood. I'm not even going like I'm getting wood blocks and placing them. I'm actually building it from scratch as you would in survival, the difference being that I can fly and spawn myself in a nail gun. But this should be all you need. I know it looks a little silly. I mean, look, how can just a wooden square be AFK? like how would this be able to stand up against zombies beating their way through, considering they could basically tear down a concrete structure in 3 seconds flat? But you gotta trust me on this. If you give the zombies a ball to chase, I've talked about this before, if you give them a distraction, if you send them on a wild goose chase, they'll be so preoccupied with whatever they're doing, they won't take the clearly easier option of just beating through the walls and feasting on the goopy brains inside your noggin. So this is where we're going to live. I am going to bang a little roof on it. I'm not going to make it too high because I do not like too high buildings because it feels claustrophobic as a ball sack, and I would much rather have some air to breathe in there. So let's get this built up there, a nice 3-meter tall building. That should stand up to the code, and then we can live in there without having to worry about bonking our head on any sort of misplaced nail. So that's going to do for now. Just banged a little lantern in there just to give it some light for now. I will add some more things to this later on, but just for the moment, that'll be enough of like a kind of a blank slate for us to use and build off, but I'll come back and I'll add some more things to that later. You will see down the track. But now that that's up, we have to start digging our little entryway just in front. Now, if you're going to be doing this in like the wasteland or the burnt biome where the regular ground is rock, that might take you a little bit longer. But if you come to the desert or the temperate biome, the desert especially, because sand has the structural integrity of a wet cum rag, not a well-used one, because that's all crispy and crunchy and can probably support its own weight, but a wet one that will fall apart if you try and do anything on it. So we're going to dig a little way out here just to give ourselves a little kind of trench just in front. We're going to make it just as wide as the pillars on the side because that could be a weakness otherwise. But if we keep this open, then the zombies will see that as like an easy route, a highway to deliciousness, and that will follow this way, follow this path to their, well, apparently to their demise. And we're going to build something just out the front here, just to send the zombies down, just where we want them to be. We don't want them coming through the walls, we want them coming this way. So this is where the wedge tips come in handy. I've built this kind of thing a lot over the journey. We're making a little wedge tip drop over here. I've built it in corridors and all sorts of things, because basically, if you're unaware, the zombies see this as a viable path, but it's so slippery that they can't actually grip on it, so they fall down underneath. Now you have to have it going this way, you can't go the other way because they can make that gap otherwise, and it'll also max with their pathing just that little bit. So we need to get this like that and build one of these on either side. So in their minds, that counts as a bridge, and you can use it as a bridge easy as you like. You can come and go as you please, but underneath that, we're going to dig down, I think maybe 3 ought to be deep enough, and you have to do this as wide as your walls are over here, because the hole underneath obviously will block their pathing, so they won't choose to come around that way. But if you don't dig the hole underneath, then basically it'll just fall onto the ground here, and they can get back up, or they can start beating on stuff, so you need to dig it deep enough that the rest of your base is nice and secure. I think just on a basic level, I think like mechanics-wise, this is all we're going to need. I'll give it a quick little test run, because what we're relying on here is that the zombies are going to come up, try and get across here, fall down into their hole down here. Now, their first instinct is going to be to start digging, which is fine, because if they start digging, they're only going to dig themselves into a deeper and deeper hole. The only kind of reservation I have here is that it is only 3 deep, so sometimes the zombies are smart enough to kind of, in fact, I might even, let's make it 4 deep. Let's do it. Why not? We're going down into the sandstone now, rather than just the regular sand, so you might need a pickaxe to be down here. I don't know, dig it as deep as you can with whatever time you have. I feel like 4 deep will be a little bit more secure, just because like sometimes they can dig up and make themselves some stairs to get out of holes, but after about 4 deep, they're just going to go down or sideways, so they can dig a big cavity over here. The deeper they go, the more safe you're going to be, and this kind of like compounds the more hordes you send down there. So when the first lot of zombies go down, by the way, when a horde knight shows up, it will only spawn, like if you have max of 8 zombies available, it will spawn 8 zombies at a time in kind of waves. So if you don't kill those first 8 zombies, the next horde won't show up. So all of the zombies for the horde knight will go down into the holes, start tunneling away, and then you have nothing to worry about after. As long as they don't despawn, you will be A-okay, and you will be safe for the rest of the night. But then when they dig a nice deep hole, the next horde that jumps in will go down that deep hole as well, and eventually anything that goes down there will go to bedrock, and then nothing will ever happen. The important thing here as well, though, is that the rest of this base is supported over here by this land over here. So as long as that's okay, as long as it's got ground somewhere nearby, you will be okay and the whole thing won't collapse. But do bear in mind, if they dig out the entire pit underneath you, eventually you might have some issues with structural stability. That's kind of like the trade-off. If you built it in the stone biome, in the burnt biome, whatever, then you'd have much greater structural stability for when they start tunneling, but it'll be harder to dig the pit. So find a happy medium somewhere of where you think it's going to run the best. But with all that explained, let's get a couple of zombies out here. Let's get some Chelseas, as we always do. Come on, Chels, give me a hand over here, test this out for me. Now you should, yep, drop straight down into the hole. Now I want to see where they start digging, if they start digging at all. apparently they're just happy being in a hole. We're like, you know what? It was really hot outside. You've given us some shade. We're gone straight to Cooper Petey, and we're living underground from now on. Well, I hope you find some opals down there that I can sell to Tradie Potato and make some money so you're actually worthwhile to me. That's, I mean, I wasn't planning on bricking their AI quite that much, but it seems like they have. Oh, no, there we go. Right, now they're starting to dig. What's going to happen? Where are they going to dig to? Are they going to get all the way through the core of the earth, or are they going to come up and ruin my base? Ah, clever girls. That's what I mean by they can build stairs sometimes. So because their hit markers... Oh, there's one just chilling it over there. Let's kill you. So because their they hit the second block up, they'll destroy that one, and then if they're lucky enough to destroy the one above that as well, they'll start like kind of staring up to the top. So 4 deep apparently was not deep enough. So let's quickly go in here. Let's just replace all of these. So maybe I need to like kind of drill like a pilot hole kind of thing. Maybe I need to dig something for them to get focused on that will send them down rather than up. So how about if I go like this, so I make the closest way to get to me being the deepest, that should make them kind of funnel into that hole. So like a little just kind of like floppy dick, a little flaccid cock hanging off my little pit over here should hopefully be enough. Let's give that one a crack. Let's get some Chelseas out there again. Make sure it is all running as normal. Get their AI turned back on. All right, what's going to happen here? Back down into the hole. No, almost. She made it across. She jumped off her friend's heads. But look at that. Okay, now they're going down into the little flaccid cock. That should be fine. Yeah, keep on going. Make sure I keep their attention. As long as they keep going down, we're going to be safe up there. So even just digging that little floppy bit onto the pit here has just ruined their AI even more. They are digging here and there, but they're actually digging the ground at the bottom of the pit more than anything else, because they're trying to get to me. They know where I am, and they want to get to me as close as possible, which means they're trying to get underneath me and then kind of sort of that. Oh, that's destroyed a block, but they're still going that way. They're not going up, which is the important thing. We're making them go down, which is good times for me. Let's get someone... Okay, you guys are doing a wonderful job of doing absolutely no excavation work. So how about if I get you guys some bigger, more powerful friends? Let's get ourselves some Yetis. Why not? Let's get a couple of feral Yetis in there. Those guys hit like a brick shit house. So that will get rid of the sandstone very, very quickly. But they're still having the same problem. This is what I mean. All the AI, all the zombies AI, all works the same. The only difference is at the very end when they actually get you. Either they spit or punch or set you on fire or infect you or do whatever. As long as you keep them away, look, they're going down again. They're still going deeper and deeper. I'm trying to keep their attention as best as possible and recalculate their pathing all the time. But I mean, look, you could set a whole bunch of zombies down there, easy as like. And the deeper you dig that hole, the safer you're going to be. The fall trap base still works, but I just want to make sure that they're not going to accidentally tunnel up underneath me. Got to try and keep them entertained, keep them going a different way. So I've let these guys go for quite a while now. It's just after 2 in the afternoon, but they've been digging themselves really just a bigger bulge. They haven't been doing anything else in regards to coming up to me. They've just kind of gone a little bit deeper, a little bit further out, which is fine. They can go that way as long as they like. I am happy as Larry up in my little cave up here. So all the zombies are going to come here, are going to fall down to this same hole, and it's going to start getting pretty reckless. Now, I would probably recommend digging this as deep as you can. Like, I'm really going for the minimum here to make it as easy as possible. The deeper you dig this bucket, the safer you're going to be. Like, if you dig this 20 blocks deep, they're never going to dig 20 blocks up to you, especially because there's only so many blocks across to you that they can go. So that's kind of the ratio, the equation that you want to be using here. Like, I'm only, what, 2 blocks away, so they're going to dig 2 blocks across before they decide that they need to go straight up and not across anymore. So that'll really brick their eye when they get to that point. So you need to kind of figure out what the angle's going to be and dig it deeper than that diagonal. So 2 blocks across must be further than like 3 blocks down just to be nice and safe. But look at that. Like, I am happy as Larry, safe as a cucumber up there. They're not even getting close to me. So just like a basic level, that's all you need to get that to work. And you can just AFK this all night. They'll eventually give up, probably time out and die, and you'll be sitting pretty up in your little wooden box. Thank you for the chainsaw, as always, in my dropped loot. What I am going to do is just dig this a couple more blocks further down, just because I want to test what's going to happen with demolishers and cops. Now, they come after, like day 21, but sometimes day 14, but usually day 21 is when your first kind of cops show up. So I want to know, if I dig that a little bit deeper, just so I can improve that ratio even more, let's just build it like this. Let's build a clearly deeper part over on the side. So they come down there, they're going to try and get to me, which will send them a bit deeper. which means they're never going to dig that far up. And all I'm going to do now is just cover up the entryway, because, as I said before, cops will only spit when they see you. So if you block their line of sight, they'll never actually have a shot, so they'll never actually try and vomit in your direction. So let's go like this. Let's build just a little wall like this. Let's just plug up the entryway like this and get ourselves a door, just a regular wooden door, please. Secure wood door, just the most basic one, and bang that right in. Is that the right way? Yes, it is. I think it is. I'm going to open it inside. Yeah, good. So just going to go like that. This is as simple as it gets. There is no tomfoolery here. It is just a wooden box that we're standing in that should keep the zombies coming this way. But all we're going to do here is actually going to open. Actually, you know what? I'll change my mind. Let's go like this. Let's put that door here and let's open it, just to stop the zombies from being able to actually make it in, but also stopping them choosing one side over the other. So if I go like that, then as far as the zombies are concerned, there is a clear open path all the way to get to me. All I'm worried about though is maybe that like they might not see that as an option, like that block to that block. I don't know. We'll give it a quick test though, but that should, in my mind, work pretty bloody well. Before I send a cop through, let's send a couple of Chelseas just to make sure it is all working as it should. I'm worried about... yeah, okay. So that's an important thing to note as well. I'm standing against the wall, so in their mind, clearly, the easiest way to get me is through that wall. So if you do build something like this, or something that's going to, like, try to break or exploit the AI, make sure you're not standing next to a wall that's weak enough for them to punch through relatively quickly. So I did that there. That was silly of me. Let's quickly repair that back up again. But I also think they parted that way because the door isn't on top of one of their supports. Let's go back to how I built it the first time. Let's get rid of you and put the door just there. So make sure that there is an open path for them. I think I ruined AI by kind of having a block there, which is a little bit silly. And this way I can also stand right in the middle and keep myself safe. All right, let's pop out of my body, go out here, and give ourselves another couple of Chelseas just to make sure it works as I want it to. Chelsea, if you wouldn't mind testing that for me, pretty please. Yep, through we go, and yep, straight down there. Keep on coming. All right, down into the hole. Alright, so the AI is still making them fall into the hole. That is good for me. Let's get ourselves a couple of cops and see how that goes. Is it just cop? Yep, fat cop. Alright, let's get two of them. Why not? Alright, here we go. Get their attention. They're gonna dawdle over because they're slow as balls. I'm not gonna spawn any ferals just yet, just because I don't want to. But you'll notice they're working the same as every other zombie. They're not spitting, they're not doing anything. They're down in the hole. And now that they're down there, they've got no idea what to do. So they'll just tunnel and dig and do all the things that regular zombies do, because that's the way that zombies work until they get to the point where they can use their special ability. Alright, easy as that. Well, you know what? Let's get real rowdy. Let's get really rowdy here. Let's get a demo zombie. Let's get him down to the hole as well. Let's see what happens. I am worried that a zombie's gonna punch his button and he's gonna explode. But if it's this deep, I'm hoping that he'll explode at the bottom of the pit and oh god, yep, he's a tunneling master. He has those automatic sledgehammers. He's doing a number on all of the blocks around it. But now they're all jammed up. I mean, what's he gonna do? Dig deeper into the center of the earth? That's fine with me. You just run in circles down there, buddy. I'm fine with that. What I'm really waiting for here is one of the Chelseas to hit one of the cops enough that he goes into explode mode, or someone to press the demolisher's nipple and make him explode as well. I want to see what happens just at this depth. Not very deep at all, if one of these fat potatoes decides to unwrap their foil covering and explode all over the coleslaw. So I was waiting for that to happen. Someone please, I might have to bust out a baseball bat or something and start shooting. Oh. A cop is dead. The demolisher just murdered the cop. He must have got a speeding ticket at some point in his life, which is interesting because he moves very, very slowly. But he fucked that cop up really badly. That's fine though. You want to murder each other in the hole? Be my guest. All right, I just don't have time to wait for this. Instead, I'm going to start punching zombies with a shovel. Look, it's not much. Oh, there we go. All right, he's about to explode. I think he was making the heart thump. There we go. Didn't do any damage to the terrain. I forgot that actually about the cops. So cops don't damage terrain blocks. They damage like built bouncing hearts. Chelsea, you can go get that. Oh wait, no, I have Chelsea's heart. That could be for Arlene later. But yeah, cops don't damage terrain blocks. Regular wood and, I don't know what wood. Regular dirt blocks don't get damaged by cop explosions. Only things you have built. So it's cop proof down here, which is kind of nice. Let's test it with his butt. Come here. No, damn it. Just stay still for a second. I'm trying to twist your nips. Give you your old titty twister. Damn it, I can't get it. He's too nimble, he's too agile, he's moving all over the gaff. Come on, buddy, come on. Right, okay, listen, I've had enough of this. Stand still so I can press your nipple. There we go. Okay, turn his AI back on. 3, 2. Gonna do a fair bit of damage. I did a lot of damage to the terrain, but more importantly, didn't do any damage to my base at all. Everything up here is still hunky-dory. Let's grab my nail gun just to check the stats of the bridge. That was the wrong button. This one, please. All right, how are we going over here? All of the blocks that are supporting it are pretty messed up, but that's all right, though, because now that we have this super deep hole, we have nothing to worry about. It's super deep down there, so anything I send down there from now on, if I get the AI back on, there we go, forward it back down to the hole, please. Down he goes. I can blow up another demolisher down here. Yep, there we go. Hit his button, he gets mad, he goes boom, and the hole gets a little bit deeper all over again. If anything, demolishers are now a blessing now. They're just making you safer and safer because they're sending the zombies deeper and deeper. As we all know, I'm quite a big fan of symmetricality, so I've put another door in the side here. It does create a small liability that you can kind of be seen through there, so I might have to build some extra like walls or something around there, but that isn't really a big deal. It is also a fact that I'm using such a small room. Like normally, you could just take a couple of steps back and you would be A-okay. You would be fine, they wouldn't be able to see you, because like if a cop stood right here, he might be able to get a shot. They'd be pretty unlucky for that to happen. In fact, let's just quickly test that. Why not? While we're here, let's get a cop. Let's go fat cop like you, please. Let's get your attention. Is he going to take a shot? No, apparently, maybe that's not big enough for him to see it as an option. But look, he's now down there, and I am safe up here. So let's throw a horde night at this. Let's do it. Let's bite off a big chunk of pizza and see how it actually turns out for us. All right, he's now dead because he timed out. That's all right. Let's skip ahead to actual horde night. Let's go straight to midnight, actually, when the moon's up and there's a little bit of light so we can actually see what's happening. All right, here we go. How is this base going to stand up to it? It should be AFK. I should be able to just stand here and watch the horde fall and do silly things down in the bottom of a hole. And so far, so good. Yes, it's got some cheese. We're using an exploit to get them down into the hole to start with. But once they're down there, I mean, they're basically just turning into miners. They're wearing hard hats, which is good. You need to have your hard hats on down in the mine. But none of them are even getting close to causing me any issues at all. They're all going for the doors. They're all sliding down the super fun happy slide down into Mr. Burns' lair. And they can just stay down there forever. I'm going to stand here and watch them for a little bit because why not? In fact, like, can I have any lanterns left over? I do. Let's bang a lantern down there so we can actually see him a little bit better. Just to kind of light up their lives, seeing as they're down and doing all the hard work for me. Look at that. Down to the mines, digging for diamonds, digging for coal. That's a whole group of zombies. And of course, I could throw Molotovs down there and burn them all to death if I wanted some experience. I can choose not to AFK this if I want, but just as a simple AFK base, this is super simple. This is an easy way to break their AI. I've been watching this group for a little while. All they've successfully done so far is murder my lantern and murder one of their friends. Oh, a couple of their friends actually. Several of them have died over the journey for getting punched in the back of the head by their comrades, their brothers in zombie arms. But yeah, I haven't really done anything that worries me. The only thing I'm kind of keeping in mind is the fact that the game calculates stability vertically first. So now that they've kind of tunneled out a lot of the space underneath the base itself, it's all now relying on actually calculating its stability. As long as there is a solid path from below, like basically below the base to the bedrock, then it only calculates from the block. But now it is actually calculating some more structural integrity than what I would kind of like. So the best way to combat that is if you grab some more wood frames and just go like this, and even just kind of extend the base of your base, out of, if I could get to the place where I want it to, please. If you extended it out this way, back over solid ground again, then you'd have even less to worry about. Like if you could put arms, like, you know, stability arms, like an octopus spreading out into the ground in different directions, you'd make it even more foolproof. There's a bunch of different ways that you can improve on this. You can upgrade the strength of your walls, the strength of your drop, the deeper the hole. You can put some tentacle arms on it. You can even like basically go out there and fight yourselves or throw mollies down before they have a chance to do any extra damage. But that's all stuff you can do on top of the basic design. This is just the mechanic of how it works. I'm just giving you guys the idea about how to make this AFK if you wanted to. You never have to build these bases exactly as I build them. Just build the same kind of idea and you should get it to work pretty well. But look at that. I mean, they stand each other's heads, they like tunnel around a little bit, they go a bit deeper, they go a bit wider. Nothing really to worry about at all. I am safe in my little cube. They're trying to find a different way out. They've got like two different avenues. Some of them are building this way, they're building off to the west, and other ones are building off to the northeast. I guess they're splitting up, dividing their labor to try and conquer the whole. But yeah, look, they're just going down more, just more down, and that's fine. Like, I'm just kind of sitting here watching how they react. It's like watching mice in a cage. They just kind of go over here, swing a little bit, go over there, swing a little bit, get caught in the middle, have a dance, go back and start again. It's all very interesting to watch, but even through all this, nothing is affecting the base upstairs. In fact, the demolishers really did help me a lot. Like, they made the hole so much deeper and wider than I would have to start with. And once it gets that big and wide, then they're never coming out again. It's now just a zombie pit of death, and I can kill them whenever I'd so please. Just because I'm curious, I'm going to put in a couple of fat cops down there just because I want them to get as aggressive as the rest of them. They can tunnel so much better than the others, so I want them down there causing a ruckus as well. It is still Horde night, but they're not part of the Horde zombies, so they do kind of forget where I am sometimes, which is a little bit upsetting. There's some other zombies just cruising around the wilderness out there. Oh, yep, there's an Arlene coming to the party now as well. I'm just adding zombies to the fact, is there like zombies out just like roaming around and stopping more Horde zombies spawning? I don't know, I don't really see anyone. I can't see anyone out here. Let's turn on their information so I'll be able to see them a bit better. Anywhere? Oh, yep, the whole bunch over here. They're all caught up over this way in my hole. All right, I can't see anything. I have to kill these guys, and then that should spawn more Horde zombies. We want to make sure we've got the max amount of zombies down in that hole as we can possibly get. It's pretty safe to say that this is working exactly as I hoped it would. So it's very similar to the Sarlacc pit in that you just send them down into a pit. But rather than having, you know, a very deep pit which takes a long time to dig, you're just making the zombies do all of the work for you. So they're going down, they're expanding the pit and making it deeper. You're using them as a workforce for your own ends. And so far, I've had nothing to worry about at all. I have gone up and I've extended those octopus arms onto the base, as I was talking about before, just kind of give you a better idea of what I was talking about. If you spread the load out, then that means there's always something holding the base up. So they can dig as wide and as far as they want. You should be pretty okay with the extra arms up here. But there you go. That is it. As I said before, though, there was lots of ways to improve it. If it were me, I would make the drop longer. 3 blocks is pretty dicey. Sometimes they can jump off each other's heads, as we saw before. So making that a longer drop will make it more secure. You could also bang, like, for example, some retractable garage doors over the top of that, like I've done before, to give yourself like an entrance, like a drawbridge kind of thing. But just as a mechanic, as a way to keep the zombies away from you, this is perfect. This is fine. They're making themselves a little zombie catacomb, and that is fine with me. They can live in the underground as much as they want. So I'm gonna have to leave this episode here. A nice, short, simple, maybe not short, but a simple idea, a simple base for you to build if you're really stuck for ideas. You want to build something just to see out the Horde and not have to worry. Here you go. I mean, sure, you can turn off the Horde, but say you wanted to keep it on just in case and throw some Molotovs around when you felt like it. This is how you can do it. So I'm gonna leave these zombies running in circles for the rest of their undead lives, and I'll have to come back and build some more bases in another episode, because this episode is done. So thank you guys for watching. Most of all, thank you to all the patrons on Patreon who made this episode possible. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Twitter. If I don't talk to you there first, I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one.